Shalom.
Call William La Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Racha Kodash Rakata Yahweh Rakata Yahweh Shai Rakata Kodash Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Racha Kodash.
Shalaki. Shalom and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elder bishops and the elders in the Akim and the Akwat of the hopeful elect. Shalom. Want to go into a quick video here entitled, This is Just the Beginning, E. E short for Esau, right? As you see the thumbnail of an Edomite, down on his luck, downtrodden and out, right? He's, the sign says, this sucks. He has a sign. I thought that was creative, He just flat out just said, this sucks. And that's the that's a microcosm of this country. That's America right there in a nutshell. It's fallen, that's a priest. That's the spirit there. This place is falling, right? Let's see, where is it at? 14. Let me see. Verse 2. Yeah, Revelation 18:2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. You see, this place, it's an abomination. This is Babylon the Great. It's Babylon the Great is fallen. So Babylon means what? City of confusion. Let's get the word Babylon here. Confusion, right? So a very large and famous city, and this is talking about America. This is modern day Babylon. And Esau, he's the daughter of Babylon, spoken of in what Psalms 137:7, the daughter of Babylon. So this place is falling, and when you see mass Edomites everywhere, and no matter the area, you can see homeless Edomites, increasing in number. And I see in the better areas of the city, homeless people. And I saw that like 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago, and I said that, yep, this is definitely the end, because when you see mass Edomites, you see homeless people, homeless whites, so-called whites, even in the nicer areas of the cities, that's a clear sign, that this place is going belly up, it's slowly sinking, right? And to cap it all off, the final punch, the final blow will be that mark of the beast, that grain of rice that go in your hand to buy and sell, right? But that's the end of the wicked, is sure destruction. Deuteronomy 28:7. The Lord Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. And when you read the book of Psalms 83, verse 3-5, read it on down, the nations are confederate against the Israelites. That's the United Nations. So that the United Nations against, that's modern day Babylon. Because what's Babylon, ancient Babylon, Nimrod? He had all the nations united. So that was basically the old United Nations, and they did what? They created the Tower of Babel. They were constructing it, right? And the Most High stopped them in the midst of their construction. The same way they're going to do now. The same way the Most High going to do now, right? When he's about to fill his belly, the Most High is going to rise up against him. That's a very rough paraphrase. When he's about to fill his belly, meaning when he's trying to fully swallow down the Israelites chiefly, but the whole earth as well, with this digital economy. And all the heathen nations have risen up against the Most High, His Son, and His holy nation, right? They shall come out against thee one way, and flee before thee 7 ways. So, and that's on the horizon here. The first phases is them, being brought down, their economy being destroyed, the jobs being lost and everything. There was a there was a meme I seen that there's more unemployed people in America than there are available jobs. So that's the sure signs, of the times. Babylon the Great, its heyday, its glory days, the prime of their time of their the prime of this country's existence is come and gone now. There's nothing. Trump was never going to be able to restore it. He just used that as a marketing pitch to get these stupid, dumb, idiot Edomites to vote for him, right? Because Americans, they're the bastards of Europe, because they are, descendants of from the they were, they go back to Great Britain, because the Brits sent, an amount over here as delegates for the British government over here, the 13 colonies, right? Then they, over time, they separated because they had no representation over there in the government. So they said no taxation without representation, and they just was looked at as British puppets, to run these be like a foreman over here, supervisor over here in the land, doing what Britain was telling them. So they go back to the Brits, and they're like the bastard cousins, over here, and them over there in Europe, they look down upon the quote unquote call them dumb Americans, right? So the Most High is, destroying these people, and it's a just end to a wicked man and a wicked nation. Excuse me. So now we'll go to Deuteronomy 30 and verse 7. And the Lord Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, thy power, will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. So, they accuse us day and night before our power. When he put the bottle unto us and had us drunken with the wine of his fornication, right? Like the whore, the whore of Babylon, America. All these false philosophies got our people drunk and going off and being wicked through everything he runs, the Hollywood movies, music and TV, etc., so forth and so on, right? And everybody's going off through those philosophies they've been taught through all of those different mediums of philosophies and the false doctrine and false religions, right? And then he's the wicked elites are accusing us before our power day and night, but they're the idiots. They're too stupid to realize that they're the ones that's causing us to go off with these, pumping these vibrations of Satan unto our people to make them go off. But now they hate us, with a perpetual hatred, Ezekiel 35 and verse 5 through 6. And so the Most High is now putting the curses of Deuteronomy 28 upon our enemies, and this is the early phases. Zechariah 12, verse 8. In that day, and what day is that? The end days. And in that day shall the Lord Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem. So that's we have awakened the valley of dry bones. We awakened back to the truth, and back to our true nationality. And he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as powers, as the angel of the Lord Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, before them. So I show you there the 2/3 after they come back, in the kingdom of heaven through the seed of the elect. They're going to be the least in the kingdom of heaven, but they're going to still be pretty strong and powerful, because David, he was a mighty man, and he was very strong. He could leap over walls and bend steel with his arms, right, as he said. And he could run fast, as a deer. He run real fast, leap high, and very powerful. So even the least of our people are going to be that bad, But the elect is going to be as powers, not, see, when you get that word, going to be as God. Uh, it's out who they, people say Elohim, but that's Allah, Allahayim, and that's plural. So I say plural right there, right? Rulers, judges, divine ones, angels. So they're the true angels of the earth, That's why the angel that brought that message to John the Revelator, when John, in Revelation, when he dropped down to worship the angel, he said, "See thou don't worship," I'm roughly paraphrasing, but he said, "See that thou do it not," because he's his fellow brother. Because that means what? That we're angels in this fleshly body right now, being punished for a season. The elect, Lord willing, we're of that number. So right here, that same word God there, Allahayim powers. See, Genesis 1:1 right there. You see, Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, the powers created the heaven and the earth, and that's going to the elect, because they got the blueprint from the Heavenly Father, the Most High. He creates everything through His infinite wisdom, right? Give the blueprint, go and send His worker angels, to go in there and put forth His. He ordained them with the power to go and be able to do that. So the elect going to be restored back to their natural estate, and that's the angels. The fallen angels in Genesis chapter 6. That Christianity has mucked up and messed up and butchered, thinking there's actual angels. It's the elect men that fell off by going into heathen women, because that's what the Most High said on when we went to in Deuteronomy 7. Don't take the wives of the heathen. They're going to turn your heart away, because those were the Hamites, the so-called African women, the Africans that had the Babylonian doctrines from Nimrod, the mystery Babylonian religions of the sun god Baal, and the false sun god Baal, and the queen of heaven, the moon goddess Semiramis, and Tammuz. As the scriptures speak about in Ezekiel, the women weeping for Tammuz. So that's what happened. Going off after these heathen women with that ancient Nimrod false religion, and from Nimrod, Semiramis, and Cush, right? So, and Tammuz, that's what that goes into. It's real deep. So the Most High is going to defend us in that day, and then in the kingdom of heaven, the 2/3 going to come back and be purified through the seed of the elect. That's going to be as angels, right? Going to be that powerful. Verse 9. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. You see, the United Nations, all that is modern day Babylonian unified wickedness under Satan. And then the wicked elites know who the Israelites are. And that's why so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans don't have any representation. And the idiot will say, "Oh, America, is y'all represented? Y'all American?" No, we're not. America is a end-time nation, end-time nationality. Mankind existed thousands of years ago, right? America is only a couple hundred years old, so we're not American. We wasn't American. We wasn't American when we got stuffed on those boats, right? And so forth and so on. Further back in ancient times. So that's why the heathen nations are confederate against us, and the Most High is going to destroy all the heathen nations of the United Nations. Just look at the nations. Just look at the United Nations. Those are the nations the Most High is going to destroy. He's going to guide the missiles over here to destroy America, and have His son Yahushua wipe out the rest of Russia and China and them. That's going to be the top heathen nations that the Lord used to destroy America, Babylon the Great. But then they're going to be trying to jockey for that power, and they're going to try to come together when Yahushua is here in this realm, when He return, the great return, when the elect is beamed up, and America's destroyed at that moment. And then Yahushua is going to wipe out those armies of the remaining armies of Russia, China, and all of its allies over there, Europe, so forth and so on. And then the wicked elites are going to go into head first into captivity. They're the first fruits of captivity in the kingdom of heaven. The chief slaves in the kingdom of heaven will be those that are ruling right now in wickedness. He that is first shall be last, right? And he that is last, the Israelites, shall be first. It's just righteous recompense, and it's called what? Excuse me. It's called karma. Let's see. Going back. Let's see. Deuteronomy. Is it Deuteronomy? Oh, Revelation. That's Revelation. Yeah. Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were angry because they've been duped by the whore, America. And thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged. That's the day of judgment. All that's going to be, weaving together the judgment of all people in the earth in that day. And that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and that's the elect that will be, that's the 144,000, the rulers with Yahushua that made the earth with Yahushua in the beginning. And to the saints, that's the rest of the 1/3 believing men, women, and their children. That's the citizens, the 1/3 elect citizens that would be blessed, above the rest of the 2/3 of Israel. And them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Because there's an hierarchy in the kingdom of heaven, they have the greatest to the least. And shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And how do the so-called white man destroys the earth through his colonization, chopping down all the trees, building and making all these different cities, and making these 15-minute cities. He's steady building, he going further and further out, steady tearing down the natural, the wilderness, the rural area, the country areas. He keeps tearing it down, chopping down all the trees, the forests and everything, setting up new subdivisions and shopping centers and shopping strips, right? Little corporate business centers. And the McDonald's getting set up everywhere, just the K beast, setting up these 5G cell phone towers that has very very harmful radiation that are like the frequencies which it emits is very harmful to our bodies. It's only a miracle that we're alive, and he sprays the air with the chemical trails. He destroys the food and the water. So this man, he's a madman. He's destroying the earth, Anyone that can't see that, the spirit not dealing with them. It's clear who the wicked of the earth is. It's 2025, it's about to be 2026 in a month, right? November 21st, I think it is right now, 2025. 1 month and a week. 5 weeks is going to be a new year. It's pretty much 2026, and people still don't understand. Most people still don't understand that this is the devil. They still will defend him because they are extremely blinded by the sorcerer, the witchcraft, the witches and warlocks, of the society. Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. That's the so-called white man. This is Babylon, the great America. Sit on the ground, there is no throne. O daughter of the Chaldeans, there's the sorcerers and the warlocks and witches, casting spells on everyone. That's why they still defend this devil, because It's the sorcery of the Chaldeans, and that's beginning with those small hats, because the small hats, the Ish people over there, right? The you wish people, right? They the identity thieves. They own Hollywood and the music industry, and cast spells on everybody. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Because everyone thinking that this person is that he is a decent individual when he's a very wicked fellow, right? So then he saw that Edomite, he head down, homeless, and he says this sucks because that's the beginning. Their beginning phases of them sitting down in the dust, being taken out of rulership, losing their economy, losing their society, their stronghold on mankind. Isaiah 14 and verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. And that's beginning. That's that puppet, Agent Orange, Donald Trump. And say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. So the golden city is America. And its chiefest golden city is New York, right? New York, New York. So nice they named it twice, as they say, right? That's their golden city, their chief golden city. Verse 5. The Lord Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked, Esau, and the scepter of the rulers. And that's Esau and all of his Confederate allies, those that rule the earth with him. Verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, meaning never ending, because it's nothing but a never ending plague of oppression, from this cave beast. The inflation, the prices is increasing and rising all over the place. They had the government shutdown, and the EBT, the food stamps and stuff got cut off, and everything. But I believe it's back up and running, the food, the SNAP food benefits. But I gotta look more into it. I think it's like some fine print where I think it's going to run out again or something. I gotta double check and do research on that. But it's a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. See, because he's the man of rage and wrath, the son of perdition, and he's a ferocious, savage, ferocious beast. He's the death adder that stoppeth his ear. He'll never hear anyone's complaints. He doesn't care. He's merciless. So the merciless won't receive mercy. As Matthew chapter 5, I believe, says. Let's see, Matthew 5 and 7. Yeah. Okay. Verse 7. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. For they shall obtain mercy. Esau, he's merciless. See, it says here, a continual stroke. Where's the mercy in that? That means perpetual stroke, never ending. He's merciless. So he will not obtain mercy. He's going to obtain the same merciless stroke that he gives mankind, and chiefly the Israelites, his chief hated nation on earth. So the Israelites. Because you see how if the Arabs, they supposedly had bombed the was it the Arabs? Osama bin Laden, whatever his nationality is, right? He bombed. He was the head of. He was the face of that, right? Bombing the Twin Towers. But his hatred is even more for so-called Black Latinos, Native American Indians, as if we the ones that did it, right? The anger he has for us, he should have for them, right? But he easily forgive them and let that go, because it's spiritual. Nothing anyone else can do carnally and physically unto him will make him surpass his hatred he has for Israelites. That our people mostly are sellouts. They love him. They want to seek his love, and he only hates them even more. It's madness, and it's spiritual from the womb of Rebekah, Jacob and Esau. And none hindereth, because right now the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. So that's why he does as he will. He does as he wish. He does as he listed, right? As he list. Whatever he want to do, he do, because he ruled the earth right now. And you see what he does with this rulership. Nothing but wickedness. And unjust ways and unjust actions. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing, because scriptures say, let's go ahead and get it, in Proverbs 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And that's what's happening. The people are in mourning because the cave beast is ruling with a iron fist, the hammer of the earth. But then when the Israelites are back in power, the people is going to rejoice. You see, so even the animals, the sky, the air, the trees, the earth, the land, the soil, because the earth is supposed to have the earth has what is called a land Sabbath, the seventh day. The seventh year. You're supposed to not till the land. You're not supposed to farm do agriculture and not, work the land, because the land's supposed to rest as well. The land has a land Sabbath every seventh year. But Esau, as the KB, he's merciless in that as well. He's always, digging into the earth, forcing the earth to work tirelessly, right? And that's a prophecy that the earth will not yield its strength for Esau. The fruits, everything is not as good as it could be, because Esau, he's an abomination in how he handles everything. That merciless beast, that fourth beast, that fourth beast prophesied by the prophet Daniel. Let's see, verse 8. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. A feller is an ancient word, for like a tree chopper, right? You're chopping down trees. And the trees everywhere are going to rejoice, because he colonized and chopped down all the trees, like I was mentioning earlier, right? He's the feller of the earth, a colonizer, aka colonizer. To cut off, cut down, cut off a body part, cut out, eliminate, kill, cut a covenant. He does all of that. Cut covenants with he cut the covenant with the Native American Indians, right? And Latinos, so-called. The Northern Kingdom, the lost 10 tribes. He cut down covenants, and he eliminates, kill everything, from people to the forests and the trees. That the Most High have in perfect balance with nature to, give us continuously give us fresh oxygen and clean the air and purify the air. That's that feller, Esau. So let's see, is that it on that? Yeah, we'll go ahead and stop right there, and then Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. So we know that there's fake Jews, the Ish people, that put that little small hat on their head, covering up their crown, right? Which you're not supposed to do that. Spoken of, and I believe it's 2 Corinthians chapter 11, I believe. But they lie. They're the synagogue of Satan, though. However, they have their book that they created is called the Babylonian Talmud. The Most High is against Babylon, so why would the people of the Lord push a book, Babylonian foundational principles and everything? I never read the book. It's garbage from Satan, but hey. They're liars. They're the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Yahweh and Yahweh loves the Israelites, the true Israelites, so-called Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, the true Israelites. You know, and the Most High is going to make them come to worship before our feet and lick up the dust up from off our feet. You know, that's what the scriptures say. They're going to be in servitude and be judged mightily at the end of that servitude. Just read the book of Obadiah, and the chief verse is verse 18. So, you know, this is just the beginning for E. You know, he's fallen, and Babylon is falling. He won't ever get back up. Thus said the Lord, thus said the Holy Bible, in the name of Yahweh Shai. So, with that being said, hope this video was edifying. The waters of Hakudash by Hashem Yahweh Shai for another video. Until next video, I say, Shalom.